If I had my way, everything would be so nice. This world would be like Paris. No, it would be a paradise. No one would ever have to say, I'm gonna get my wish someday. All one would have to do is say, this is my order, if you may. Welcome to another episode of The School Without Walls. I'm the founder and host of this educational program. I am Antonio Hobbs. To date is February the 20th, 2013. This is the month of February where we normally celebrate African American history nationally. And I have as my guest here today, La Señorita Jessica Armstrong. She's a Spanish student of mine, and I'm proud to say that she is the best in her class. And we're going to talk a little bit about her, and then we're going to see how much she knows about Black history. Jessica, tell me, where are you residing? Where do you live before you come to campus? Where are you living?
I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Little Rock, Arkansas. What
Yes,
school
sir.
did you graduate from there?
I graduated from Little Rock Central High School.
Little Rock Central High School.
Yes, sir.
Was there anybody over there that resembled me that you met?
Yes, sir.
Who
yes,
was that
sir.
person?
My principal, my 11th grade principal,
What is his name?
Anthony Hobbs.
Junior, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay, I just had to get that one in for the record. Okay, do you have any relatives here in Pine Bluff?
Yes, sir, I do. Mary Flowers and Yvonne Gentry.
They are some very good citizens, very good friends of mine too, and very, very good citizens. Okay, very good. Now, tell me, why did you choose UAPB out of all the colleges in the world? What happened you came here?
Why did I choose UAPB?
Mm-hmm.
Well, first because it was close to home,
Okay.
and it is a HBCU.
HBCU?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what is special about it? You know, a lot of folks don't know what in the world an HBCU is. Do you know what it is?
Yes, sir, I do.
What is an HBCU?
It's a historically Black college and university.
Okay, and why did you prefer going to an historically Black university rather than a traditionally white university?
I felt like I would be, I guess I felt like I would be more maybe comfortable. And
There are more opportunities to be involved in activities at HBCU.
yes,
So
sir.
you were pretty close. You're on target there, you know? All right. Now, now that you've been here, what is your classification?
I'm a sophomore.
You're a sophomore. That's
Yes,
the
sir.
second year, right?
Yes, sir.
And you've enjoyed it thus far?
I have.
Okay. Anything you want to tell me about any activities? Are you involved with any activities?
No, not
yet?
yet, but I plan on.
I see. There's one organization I would suggest that you join. It's called the NAACP. You ever heard of that organization?
Yes, sir, I have.
And you have a campus chapter here, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is Black History Month. Do you know of any Black inventors, or have Blacks contributed anything to our culture as far as you know?
Yes, sir, we have contributed to a lot. In 1896, George Washington Carver created peanut butter.
He made peanut butter?
He did.
Oh, how about that? What else did he do?
Um,
Did he do anything other than peanut butter?
I'm not sure.
Well, he did several other things, but he made peanut butter. That's very good. Anything else?
Okay, in 1949, Frederick M. Jones created the air conditioning unit.
Oh, I'm glad he did that, aren't you?
Yes,
Glad that somebody did it.
Right.
Okay, that's two. You know any more?
1923, Garrett Morgan created the traffic light.
The traffic light?
Yes, the traffic
And that traffic light is shown all over the world. And I bet you there aren't two or three people who know that.
Right.
The traffic light, y'all, was created by an African American. We'll make sure you remember that. All right, go ahead.
In 1899, L.R. Johnson created the bicycle frame.
What was his name?
L.R. Johnson.
He created the bicycle frame?
Yes, the frame.
I see. Now let's think. Now there were wheels, but not a frame.
Well,
I
yeah.
don't quite understand that. he created the frame of the bicycle, but he
guess-
didn't create the wheel.
Right.
Okay. Well, okay. Let's go on. Anything else?
Madam C.J. Walker created the hot cone.
The hot cone?
Yeah, I'm thankful
Hey,
for
hey, hey. She made a lot of black women happy, didn't she?
She did.
You know, do you know where she's from originally?
No, sir, I don't.
Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. And it's recorded that she's the first black female millionaire.
Yes, sir.
But we learned recently that it was not the truth. The first black female was from Oklahoma, but it was not in the early history. But Mrs. Walker got credit for being the first African-American millionaire. Okay, we have one more minute, and I want you to say whatever you like to say about the school or about your Spanish instructor, anything like that.
Well,
Being the best in your class.
oh yes. I'm glad I chose this university because I'm good to be here. Then, it's great to be here, and then the people, they're so understanding, and they want to make sure that you're doing right.
And succeed in life, right?
Right.
Well, good. Señorita Jessica, tengo mucho gusto tenerla aquí. Oh, by the way, let them hear you speak some Spanish. Buenos días, ¿cómo estás?
Muy bien. ¿A usted?
Muy bien, gracias. ¿Cómo se llama usted?
Jessica?
Jessica. Okay, Jessica. Adiós.
Adios.
Vaya con Dios, eh?
No me cabo.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Anthony Fernando, a veteran of Iraq and Afghanistan. I'm also a graduate of UAPB. I'm currently enrolled in the Master of Science in Aquaculture Fisheries program. Thanks to my mentor, Dr. Eggleton, I'm acquiring unique skills needed for future employment.
Since coming to University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff, Tony has been involved in a wide range of undergraduate research. Some of this research he plans to publish later this year. UAPB prepares its students for these types of opportunities every day.
UAPB is preparing me.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Those of you who have just joined us, I'm Anthony O. Hobbs, host of this program. I'm interviewing a student here at the University of Arkansas, as well as one of my Spanish students, Miss Daniels. Rita, is it?
Sí,
Rita,
yes, sir.
Rita Daniels. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo está usted? ¿Bien?
Muy bien.
Ay, gracias.
Fine.
We started off a little Spanish. This is National Black History Month, so what we're going to do, I'm going to first ask you a little bit about yourself, and then we're going to talk a little bit about some events,
Yes,
African American events. Now, I understand you are married, right?
Yes, sir.
You want
I
to
am.
give your husband's name, and if there are any children, you can give their names.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I am married. My name is Rita Daniels. I've been married for 20 years. My husband's name is Isidore Daniels. We have 3 children together, ranging in ages from 16 to 8.
Okay, you want to say hello to them?
Hello, family. Love you guys.
Okay, all right. Now, what happened? Is this the first first college you entered?
No, sir. I'm a non-traditional student.
Okay.
I would say this is probably around the second college that I've actually attended.
And you're a military person, I understand.
Yes, sir.
Is it in which branch?
The Army.
The Army?
Yes, sir.
I see. Are you in reserves now, or you've done your term, or what? Tell us
Yes, sir.
about
I've already done my term, so I'm no longer, active duty.
How many years did you spend in the military?
I spent 6 years active
years.
and 4 years doing reserve
I
duty.
see. Did you go abroad?
No, I didn't get a chance to go
How
abroad.
about that? Did not go abroad. Okay, so much for that. So let us get on to your knowledge. Well, before I ask you about your knowledge, why is it important, you think, that we should be here talking about African American history? Why is that significant?
Well, I would say, personally for myself, Black history is very important because you get a chance to revisit what your ancestors have either gone through, the struggles, the trials, the tribulations, and then it gives you something to look forward to and a hope for the future.
I see.
So it's always good to revisit history so that you can actually make some better choices about your own life.
That's excellent. Excellent, excellent. I want to say to my friend Kim Williams, I have a friend out there in the TV land that I like to speak to every now and then. He's a real strong supporter. That was well said, wasn't it, Kim? I'm sure he said yes. Okay,
Right.
Now, are there any dates you would like to share with the public? When you speak direct to the public, use that camera right there. Any dates, events that you want to talk about?
Oh, sure.
Go right ahead.
Well, for example, Madam C.J. Walker invented the straightening comb.
Okay.
Yes, that was actually around 1905. I thank God for her because, now we can kind of have different texture hair. If you don't want to do the chemical treatment,
Right.
you can always, use
can
old-fashioned straightening comb.
You can uncurl your hair.
There you go. With the straightening comb, which is
Right.
great. And this was I didn't even know this information, but Frederick M. Jones invented the motor around 1939.
The motor.
And I'm like, well, how would my car even get anywhere if it didn't have a motor? So
And
that's
all
very
of these
important.
Vehicles, there are so many vehicles that have motors, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's very important. Another invention.
Oh, let's say F.J. Loudon, the keychain, which was in 1894. So
The keychain.
The keychain.
Where you can keep up with your keys.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
Oh, yeah. Edmund Berger, the spark plug, around 1839.
That goes back to the motor again, right?
Most definitely.
Spark plug, okay.
And this was a good one. The stethoscope by M. Hotep. I believe that's how you pronounce the name.
That sounds right.
But it's around ancient Egypt. It doesn't even have a date, but I know it was a long time ago.
You mean to tell me they had that in Egypt back in
Oh, yeah.
BC, right?
Yes, sir.
That is amazing.
Way back
in
when.
BC.
Oh, yeah.
That reminds me of something. Did you know the Egyptians had birth control too?
I had no idea.
Yeah, they had
That's
birth.
wow.
They knew about birth control.
Didn't know about
way
that.
back in that day.
That's
Sure did.
amazing. Wow.
What else do you have there?
Well, let's see. Burridge and Marchman invented the typewriter around the year of 1885, which is very good because even though technology is moving forward,
We're moving
and
from it, but we still,
Right.
the keyboard is the, what is that? Is the remnant of that, isn't it?
oh
The
yeah, it's like the
keyboard,
staple. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I
No.
think people are always going to have to type something,
I believe
or
so, too.
it's always going to be there.
They're trying to fix it where you can speak into that machine, but it doesn't work too well, does it?
Oh no.
I've tried that. Your voice got to be just right and everything to do it.
Yeah, I don't think
Okay.
that'd work for me.
We have about 3 more minutes. Continue.
Okay, the stove invented by T.A. Carrington.
The cooking stove?
The cooking stove,
My, my,
1876.
my. I wonder what in the world were they cooking on prior to that. You ever thought about it?
I have thought about it, but I just, I really don't know what would they be cooking other than
what you say?
1876.
You know, it's probably the fireplace. Like I remember my grandmother used to cook on this fire. You know what a fireplace is?
Oh yes, sir.
All
My
this-
grandmother had one
all this
too.
wood, and you have a big pot in there.
Oh yeah.
And they could put sweet potatoes under the ashes.
Oh yeah.
So maybe they were doing that.
Probably so. All those foods they got from the field that they had picked and grown.
Right.
I'm pretty sure that's what
And
they
I know
were
in
cooking.
Africa they had outdoors, like they would cook in pots. Yeah, I visited Africa once,
Oh,
and
wow.
amazing to see they would have outdoors cooking. We have 1 more minute now. Come on, say whatever you want to say.
Let's see.
You can be off script or on script. What would you like to say to conclude?
Well, to conclude this segment, I really would like to say I've enjoyed the segment. I was a little nervous coming at first, but I think I'm in my element. I feel really good.
You're doing quite well, and you will perhaps be on the final segment because we have some students in the audience that are sort of chicken.
Oh,
They're
they're
afraid
chicken,
to come up here.
yeah.
They're little chickens. So if we don't get into the chickens to come up here, we're going to have you back for the next session. We'll be
Well, that
back in
sounds
just a few
great.
minutes.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all working with United Way for a million little reasons. the kids of our communities, to ensure their academic success all the way to graduation day. You see, it takes about 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a kid becoming one or the other could be a professional athlete, or it could be you. Studies showed the earlier we get to kids, the better their chances. So become a United Way volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, and make a difference in the life of a child, for the life of that child.
Give. Advocate. Volunteer.
Live united. Join your favorite NFL players. Take the pledge. Go to unitedway.org.
Hello, my name is Latrice Smith. I'm a graduating senior here at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, majoring in computer science. At this point, I thought that I would be struggling to find a job, but thanks to my mentor, Dr. Jesse Walker, and Career Services, I was able to obtain a position as a service management specialist.
Latrice worked hard obtaining 3 internships while on campus. UAPB can help prepare students like Latrice for those same opportunities.
UAPB prepared me.
Those of you who have just joined us, I'm Anthony O. Hobbs, host and founder of this educational program called The School Without Walls. My guest is Mrs. Rita Daniels. We were talking about the inventions of African Americans, but before we continue with that, I might have mentioned this earlier in the show, but I always like to mention the founder of the Black History Movement. That was the Dr. Carter G. Woodson. In the 1930s, he was a PhD from Harvard University, which was quite rare in that time because so many African Americans hadn't finished high school, and here he is with a PhD at that day. And he realized that the American school system did not speak of the African American experience, so he started the movement. It was 1 week, and we've made a progress to 2 or 3 additional weeks, which is a month. And I'm asking you young people to realize the importance of your history being taught each month. And of course, we know it takes time to work this into the public school system, but we certainly can work it in our church as pastors. So we want you to put this in your curriculum of the educational department of your churches. All right, now back to inventions. We had mentioned several inventions, about 4 or 5. Do you have some other inventions you would like to mention that African Americans contributed?
I'm glad you asked. I do.
Okay, go right ahead.
The ironing board, Sarah Boone.
Oh, that was really
And that was back in 1887.
1887.
Oh, yeah.
Prior to 1887, I guess that wrinkle clothes, didn't it?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Look, they had no way of ironing them out.
Right, they had wrinkle clothes. All right.
And then we have the lawnmower, invented by L.A. Burr, which is around 1889.
That's that pushing mower, right?
That's that pushing mower.
You've never seen one of those, have you?
I have seen one.
You've seen one?
I've actually used one.
I used to own one, yeah.
I've actually used one.
They're real inexpensive to operate.
Oh, now they are, yeah, they are.
You don't have to worry about gas.
Oh, no.
All right, but you have to have some muscle power. Okay, continue.
Then we have the mailbox by Paul L. Downing.
The mailbox, okay.
Back in 1891.
1891, all right. What else?
And we have the shampoo headrest, which is one of my favorites. Because how could I go to the beauty salon and be comfortable and
The
get my hair
headrest
done?
is when they lie back and put the water on.
Right.
Okay.
And that was invented by C.O. Bailiff in 1898.
Okay.
And then we have the thermostat control, which is very good. That's by Frederick M. Jones.
How about that?
Oh, yeah, 1960.
Regulate the heat of the house.
Oh, yeah, got to have that.
Yeah.
Because then you have, many people that may have different, family members living in their home, and everybody's temperature is different. I'm cold, I'm hot. So you kind of have a thermostat, and you keep everybody happy. It kind of shuts off and shuts on,
Definitely.
So that's a good thing.
It's a saver, too. It's what they call it, the energy saver.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
This was interesting. The tricycle by M.A. Cherry. That was back in 1886.
Now, Black did the frame of a bicycle, and he also came up with the tricycle. Okay,
Isn't that
that's
interesting?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I had a tricycle when I was younger.
You did?
Did you ever have a tricycle?
I can't remember that far back. That's been a long time ago.
Look, sounds like you're telling your age.
Yeah, but I had some children that had a tricycle, right?
Well, see, that's good
Okay, what else?
And, of course, we had the phone transmitter.
The phone transmitter?
Granville T. Woods. That was back in, 1884. So.
What about the cell phone?
Oh my goodness.
Do you have that on your
Oh,
list?
I do. I do have the cell
yeah,
phone.
right.
That came out, actually done by Henry T. Sampson.
That was during my adult age. I wish I had been smart enough to have invested in that. I didn't realize that everybody's going to have one. Okay, go ahead.
And we have the clothes dryer, which is so important to me.
Clothes dryer.
Oh, yeah. Got to have one of those. That was done by G.T. Sampson.
G.T. Sampson. What year?
1862.
1862. They had a dryer then, huh?
Oh, yeah.
1862.
That's amazing, though.
I assume they had a washer.
Oh, I hope so. Or then again, they probably had the old scrubbing board.
The scrub board. Okay.
And this is an interesting one, the fire escape ladder.
The fire escape ladder.
J.W. Winters in 1878.
The fire escape ladder, okay. African American.
Oh, yeah. Which is very interesting. It's amazing how you just find out about your history.
Right.
And you don't really know who's doing what.
And it has to make you feel proud that your people contributed.
Oh, most
because,
definitely.
we're talking about 100 years ago, it was claimed that African Americans had never contributed to civilization, period. We know it's not true.
We know that's not true.
But we have facts here now.
Most definitely.
Go right ahead.
And we have the folding chair by Brody and Sergwar.
The folding chair.
1889.
I'll be down. Okay.
That's amazing. Everybody needs a folding chair.
Yeah, it makes it for convenience.
Oh, yeah.
You can fold it up and place it over there in the corner. Okay. Go ahead.
Now, this is really interesting. The Almanac.
Oh,
Benjamin Banneker.
Benjamin Banneker.
Back in 1791.
Anything else you know about Benjamin Banneker?
You know what? The name rings a bell.
Let me share some of the things that I know about Benjamin Banneker.
Okay.
See, Benjamin Banneker also invented the clock. Benjamin Banneker invented the clock that we have today. Yeah. There's an interesting story about him. You see, Benjamin Banneker was never a slave. His mother was white. He had a black father and a white mother. And of course, in early America, a lot of us don't realize that in the East, everybody was not a slave. They just come over one day and said, let's enslave all Africans. That came later. Well, Benjamin Banneker was a young man that his family was able to have a teacher. You know, they had circuit teachers. They would come to their houses, okay, you know, and they left these books with Benjamin. Said, Benjamin, this is a math book here. Say, this is the lesson plan. I want you to study this out, and I'll be back in a month, and I'll see what you think about the book. So the teacher did come back in a month. He said, Benjamin, have you looked at the book? He said, yes, sir. He said, what do you think about the book? Benjamin said, well, it's a good book. However, Professor, you made several mistakes.
Right.
This is incorrect over here. This is correct over here. He was a little genius.
Wow, most definitely.
Genius. So he went on and worked with Benjamin Franklin. Ben Franklin did the almanac. He worked with that. So he was quite a person. I also think Benjamin Banneker was involved in the constructing of the Capitol.
Wow.
We're going to have to conclude.
That's
Time is just about running out. I'm certainly proud that you dropped by.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here.
And buena suerte mañana en la clase de español. Huh? Good luck tomorrow in the Spanish class. And
I'm definitely going to need it.
¿Quieres hablarme en español un poco? You want to speak a little Spanish to me before you leave?
Let's see. Adios.
Adios? Okay.
See your house.
Hasta la vista. Okay, then. You take care.
You too.
Okay.